Blackouts. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesdays. Welcome to the Dynasty Pylon. We're going to talk about all things NFL. Soon we'll be getting to our Dynasty leagues. But first, we're going to deal with all the NFL moves. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Mark. We got Alec Mount down below. What's up, guys?
What is up?
What is up, everybody? Let's get into it.
Dude, I almost put on a Bears jersey. I've been totally against the Bears for a while. I almost put on a Bears jersey when I saw it. I was like, Tooney? All right. That's okay.
Second offensive lineman you brought in 2 days.
Exactly. We got the guards ready. I don't know if you see the replacements. 2 guards, and then you go from there. So all we need is Dowman. I need Dowman too. The whole middle. It's gonna cost us like $45 million.
And not only that, but you got Thuney for a 2026 fifth. So
I know. I was like, really? For real? This is what we're doing
this year, and if you do good this year, you're like, fifth round.
Who cares? It's basically
exactly.
a throwaway pick. So I mean, we did something right. So that's a good thing. But there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of teams in search of people. There's a lot of trades that are going to happen before free agency. But before we get into the free agency stuff, because there's a lot, I want to go through the combine winners and losers real quick. Yeah, as you know, the Indianapolis combine was this past weekend. A lot of players, did those drills, did the 40-yard dash, did the vertical jumps, the broad jumps, which broad jump is actually more important than probably the 40 or the vertical. But no one wants to talk about it, So or the T drill or the L drill, those things are actually more important. Seeing change of direction. Did you guys see anyone who did amazing that you feel like should be named a winner as far as the combine goes? You go first.
Oh, thank you. So, as far as winners go, I was really impressed with Tutu, from Virginia. I think it's Virginia Tech, right?
Virginia Tech.
Yep. I thought, it was a very impressive outing. I find that with the combine, the way I look at it is it's a great way for players who are not as we expect them to be, as football lovers and fantasy lovers, to be like, this is their time to show off their athleticism, show them their skills, whatever the position is, whether it's quarterback with, I think, what's his name? Jackson Dart, right? Or whatever his name is.
Dart.
Yeah, Dart. He got to show off his skills, his athleticism, his deep ball accuracy and everything. So, to me, Tutu was the biggest winner. His 40 time really showed that. And I know the teams like the 49ers love that. They love those guys who can be quick. And now, since they're just looking to trade away the whole core of wide receivers, and they're probably going to drop Elijah Mitchell most likely because that guy's been hurt like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
To me, players like that are going to now be going up in the draft and probably further, maybe this guy was maybe a 4th round pick, something like that. I don't know.
He might be an early 3rd now.
Yeah, just because of the combine. So I think that alone makes him a great winner.
Okay, that's good. That's a good answer. What about you, Mark? You got any guy who you think is a winner from the combine?
What's his name? Hold on, let me find him. I just saw him. Matthew Golden, receiver at Texas.
Matthew Golden, yes, is a very good answer.
Fastest receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had Bond, who was bragging about how he was going to break the record, and
his teammate.
Yep. Meanwhile, Matthew Golden almost did.
Yeah.
I thought Matthew Golden did good. Quarterback wise, you had Dart, who pressed everybody.
Do you think that Dart did enough to raise his status? I think he's still a 4th rounder. So, but
yeah, I mean, you're looking what, 3rd round at best, maybe now.
Yeah, maybe
depending on if
3rd.
someone doesn't have a 4th and they want to take a swing.
I mean, you got Quinn.
I do like the kid out of Virginia Tech, though. I do agree with Alec. That dude showed up. He's number 1 in every category in running back.
He's so explosive. That's what was crazy. I'm like, it was his vertical, it's his broad jump. His 10-yard split was a 1.49. His broad jump was 10 feet 10 inches, I think it was. It was a stupid great performance, and I think the Brichot is probably going to end up being a 3rd rounder, which before I had him in the 5th.
Oh yeah, I definitely think he out of everybody jumped up. I had him down towards the end too, and now I'm like, who knows? Maybe even someone towards the end of the 2nd round is like, need a running back, maybe.
But you see, the running backs, it's very deep still. It is
very deep, though. That's the only thing I think that hurts him. If this had been last year, he would have been the 1st running back off the board.
He could be off the board, exactly. And would have played all year.
Yeah. And right now we've got 5 running backs that arguably could all go anywhere from round 1 to 3. They're just all so solid in their own rights. So to me, he'd be running back number 6.
I have him
on the defensive side, though. James Pierce, edge rusher at Tennessee. That dude had a pretty monstrous combine.
I think a solid guy for edge rusher was that guy from I think it's Arkansas. I want to say it's Arkansas. God, what was his name? He's just solid all around because he went viral.
Landon Jackson. Jackson out of Arkansas.
Because he went
6'6", 264.
Yeah,
monster.
He went viral because of him first starting out of college and the way he's hitting the dummy. He's like, and then combine's like, get out of my way, get out of my way. And I was like, damn, that's a grown man right there.
No, the biggest thing about Landon Jackson was his wingspan was like a pterodactyl.
Yes.
It was ridiculous. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you have 39-inch long arms? What?
In my idea, he's like a B to B plus kind of prospect. He's not the it factor, but he's so solid at everything. He's a great rotational piece that can one day become like his own just pledged starter. Once he just learns a bit from more veteran guys, I think he truly can be that guy. Because if you watch his college tape, that dude can stop the run, stop the pass. He's great at just IQ wise. That's why I'm very impressed with him. I would laugh if he came to the Eagles, because then the Eagles would have two bald guys on their team on defense. They'd have Zach Bond, who just signed, and then him.
What's up, Marvin? He said, got that Deontay Wilder wingspan. That dude that just be like tickling people in the trees and stuff, like it'd be unbelievable. That type of wingspan. And my only problem is him being 6'6", and he's kind of stiff.
Yeah,
he's not a fluid athlete. He is aggressive. His broad jump was like 10.9. His 40 was like a 4.68, which is really good for someone at 264. 100%. But he's not a fluid athlete. And but I definitely think he's a winner, because I had him in I think he was number 13 on my edge rusher, and he now is probably gonna be about 8 as far as the rest of my edge rushers. So I like it. I like what you're saying.
One last one. What about Campbell at Alabama? 4.5, 240.
Yeah.
Was number 2 in fitness, was it? He scored 82 overall, and athleticism scored.
Yeah.
Second highest. A lot of people are saying he went from the second half of the first to top half of the first.
I don't know if he's a top half of the first guy.
Well, they're saying because of his combine, it'll boost him.
No, I think you're right. I still don't know, because there's other guys.
He definitely was a second half guy, but they're saying possibly because of his combine numbers,
he might get the first half. Here's okay. So my guy for defense is Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M. That dude.
Yep, I got him on this list too.
Yeah, I mean, he's defensive tackle. He's a monster. And you talking about his relative athletic score was a 10. He's 10. The only other person, there's only 2 people that have ever scored a 10. One's not a great one, and the other one is probably the best one. One is Trayvon Walker, and the other one is Myles Garrett. That's who he's going against. That's the type of stuff that he was doing. He was listed at 290.
That 10 got him drafted number 1 overall. Okay.
Yeah. I know, and it was a mistake.
Jacksonville's like, we'll take him.
It definitely was a mistake. So, but I think he is flying up people's boards, and I enjoy seeing his combine numbers, and it was crazy. I mean, honestly, really nuts. Then you have what's that kid's name? Emanwari. The guy, I think I talked about him last week. Nick Emanwari of South Carolina. He's the dude that's 6'3", 220 with a 43-inch vertical. He had 11-foot 6-inch broad jump. That's nuts. I think his split, his 40-yard 10-second split was a 1.49, and his 40 was a 4.38. He's 6'3", 220. That's safety.
Mm-hmm.
That's a monster. So I think he's now going to be a front half of the first round type of guy, and why not? Especially if you look at Baltimore, you see these type of guys change teams. And in my fantasy draft and my dynasty draft, hey Mark, look like this. Don't listen right there. I'm trying to get this guy, and as long as figure out a way to get more.
What? Sorry, what you said in here?
Exactly.
Oh, Mark, what do you say? Was he's trying to get this guy over here?
Oh, thanks, Alex. Thanks. Oh my God.
He's just mad because I have Kyle Hamilton. It's okay.
Exactly. So you don't need him. I need to have the next Kyle Hamilton. Who is Nick Emanwari? This is who he is right here. We're
You
looking
to
at
have the
him.
next Kyle Hamilton than the guy who already has Kyle Hamilton.
Hey, you know
Oh my
what?
God.
Listen,
I would hate to have you both.
Hey, if I get
if
this guy,
Mark-
you could have Brisker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you willing to give up if he gets this guy, huh? You know?
I got 2 first-round picks, bro. I'll figure something out.
Okay.
You're gonna
I'll
take a
figure
safety with your first round picks. Good luck.
No.
Hey, man.
No.
Times are
I'm
tough.
actually,
bro.
I'm
That
actually
means
gonna have
drowning.
to. I'm probably gonna have to trade back into the second round to even get somebody.
I'm pretty sure I got Kyle Hamilton in like the third.
I'm thinking the only thing my team needs is a running back.
I didn't
like,
have any other picks after that, so
just
I was
to
like,
keep
I
it
better
young.
get him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty young at DB and D line, linebacker, so I'll be fine. And baby, let's go.
What do you guys think about Abdul Carter with the stress fracture in his foot that every team seemed to know about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, not getting surgery for it.
That's his choice. You know, I guess we'll just have to see how it affects him when he's actually on the field with other grown men in the NFL and how he can put weight on it and whatnot. You know, so there have been players.
Pro day, right?
Yeah. So we'll just have to see how that goes because there's been a lot of players that, especially D linemen, that just refuse to get surgery on things until like either midway in the season, like, oh, we're not making playoffs, might as well get it now, or towards like the off season. Like, I mean, what was it? Max Crosby had a surgery, did he not? Just like like towards the end of the season. I think actually an Eagles player, I forget who. He also just had a surgery. So it's like, you know, I'm not too worried about it. He's young. People can typically come back from these things relatively quickly, especially if they're a rookie. I'm not too worried. I just want to see how he plays in it, if it's truly a hindrance at any of the mobility factors.
Yeah, Jafar said, "Yo, Piccadilly,
Jafar, my boy, welcome on in.
Amazing, bro.
Yeah, you will like these guys. They're awesome."
So Anthony says, "Is Walter Nolan going to be a late surprise pick like Jalen Carter?" What you guys think? In my opinion, no, but I'm not surprised.
Wasn't that shocking, was it? It was shocking that he went.
It's shocking that he dropped all the way to 10 when he should have been top 2 or 3 person.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the biggest shock about Jalen Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to Carter though, who wasn't there someone recently that like had an injury and he decided not to have surgery, and I feel like he almost fell out of the first round. I mean, Carter's definitely not.
No, that was going to be my next question. Actually, I was going to say, does this?
I don't think Carter falls anywhere near out of the first round. But
no, but does he even does he fall out of the top 10?
I don't think so.
I don't think he passes 3.
No.
If I'm Cleveland and I'm looking at Abdul Carter, I don't know how I don't grab him. If he's still there, I mean, at 2, I want him.
Adam Schefter reported that. So apparently, it's almost a done deal. One, that the Giants are going to take the number 1 pick.
Yep.
Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, at some point, Cleveland came out and said something that the only person they're looking at is Travis Hunter. So,
well, they just had Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter there for their top 30 pro day, so that's kind of weird. But
no,
you're Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee could also get him too if they really want to ride with Will Levis. There's only one quarterback that I feel like is close to NFL ready, and that's Cam Ward. Because Shedeur Sanders kind of reminds me a little bit of Caleb Williams on the fact that he plays hero ball way too much. And I would hate for him to go to somewhere like the Giants where that would just be a disaster. You know, yes.
Brian Daboll is a really good guy.
He's good, but again, when you have Shedeur Sanders is also the guy who's been sacked the most out of any quarterback that's being drafted this year. And let's not say
he holds on to the ball.
Yeah, you know, so
they fit right in with the Giants, then.
Well, listen, as an Eagles fan and as a Commanders fan, we would be happy to have that, having to stance around.
Just saying, if he was the most sacked quarterback in college, he'll fit right in with the Giants.
Yeah, no, for sure. But no, he needs to go to a team where he can flourish more. Like, not that I think he'll fall to 7 or anything like that. But
no.
he needs to go somewhere that's more that's actually got an O-line that can save him from getting his head chopped off.
Which is weird because what the report out of Tennessee is saying that the reason why they're so okay with trading down is because they like Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders at the same time. They're like at the same level. They don't think there's a big difference between them. He says if you can work on Shadeur's timing, pre-snap looks and timing, he's better. He's more accurate. That's what they're saying. So what they see is we trade out one, let the Giants take him, and if Shedeur is at 4 and we got extra picks from it, then we'll take Shedeur and grab extra picks because we need a talent. We need more talent here.
That is
Patriots.
That's not bad.
They'll be trading down to
3.
What's 3? 3.
Yeah.
They would.
So I mean, the only if you get more picks, like an extra 4th rounder for it, whatever. Extra 3rd rounder for it, why not?
Well, if the thing with Travis Hunter is correct,
now Abdul Carter falls.
Carter, and they're like, the Giants are trading up for a QB. We fall down to 3. We still get Carter.
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually,
we still get our guy, and we get extra picks.
What they reported was that Tennessee is still looking at quarterback first right now.
Okay.
Well, let's see. So real quick, in your rookie drafts for IDP players, where do you have Carter and Travis Hunter ranked? Do you have either of them going 101 or 102? Or how do you guys have them? Like, which one do you think is worth more in IDP?
I know it depends on which defender's coming off the board first, because I don't see either of them being drafted 101.
Like, in an IDP league.
Just the IDP league?
Just defensive players. I think Travis Hunter goes first.
I will go Abdul Carter.
Well, it depends.
Because if Abdul Carter is
scoring like our scoring,
it depends on your scoring.
I would probably go Carter as well.
Exactly, because
I know ours is kind of high for edge rushers. So.
Because of the sack number, the sack yards, all those that go with it.
Tackle, like you can literally get a tackle, a sack, a tackle for loss, the yards. Like you get like 5 different types of points when you get a sack.
Yep. Yeah,
so I would definitely go Carter if it was our league, but if it was more of like an even league, I'd almost go Travis Hunter just because that offensive
right, and that's kind of why.
Plus returner.
It depends, yeah.
And I think he can be a pretty good corner in the NFL as well.
Well, do you include return yards? If you're talking about IDP specifically, are you including return yards?
You should. I think more than Bella. She's.
Hey.
Oh, there you go. Bella, say hi. Go in the bedroom. It's okay. That's just my little heifer. Don't mind her. But yeah, no. If you've got to include return yards. Are you kidding me? Otherwise, you're playing in a kind of like a no offense to people out there, but a boring league. If you ask me, you got to include that.
Well, you're saying IDP only, so it depends on what the IDP they're looking for. If you're and that's what I'm saying. That's where. You're talking about just IDP. Do I not include return yards for that because that's not necessarily defense or anything like that?
Well,
so
I mean,
that's where it balances out. Depends on the scoring, right? So if your scoring is, higher on sacks or higher on interceptions, depends on that. And also, the problem with Travis Hunter is if he's that good, if he really is really good, and we find that out, teams will go away from him. That's when the return yards really matter.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
I love the Strauss God. I cannot wait until more fantasy football talk. Woo! I cannot wait.
Well, we're right around the corner because we're going to start having to break these things down, these positions down. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to probably spend most of April trying to get done. Mm-hmm. Corners.
Well, I think we have a whole month of just defensive tackles, right?
It's 31 of top 100. So
I mean, we do 5 an episode. There's like 31 of them. So.
All right, you guys told me your winners. Who do you feel like was a loser?
Can I piggyback off of Mark and say Bond just because of what he? Because of what he said.
Wrong. You have no
flaring.
I'm going to break the record. You watch. Well, if the record was how to embarrass yourself in front of millions of people the fastest at a combine, he did a fantastic job Congratulations on your record, baby. You earned that. Now, on a serious note, Bond, when you make a statement like that, you have to back it up. And I think that will hurt him a little bit. I'm not sure if he's the worst loser here. Actually, to be honest, I feel like every tight end in this combine is the biggest loser. I can't just name one because we were expecting. Come here, then, silly. We were expecting so much from after we saw Sam Laporte 2 years ago, and then we saw how am I blanking? Oh my god, I play in tight end premium leagues. What the heck? The Raiders guy. How am I blanking on him? Oh my gosh, literally was number one. But we had him, and now this year there's like no really top tight ends coming in to the draft that I think are truly.
Monsters. You don't think I think we have some monsters at tight end.
I don't.
It's very top heavy. Very top heavy though.
Very top heavy, sure. But what I'll say is that I look at like their 40 times. I look at some of the drills that they ran, and I just wasn't really impressed drill wise. I think tape wise, that's a different story. But if we're talking about like how it hurts their draft stock, I think the most of the tight ends, if not all of them that were in the combine, didn't really perform as well as I was hoping to expect to see. But maybe that's because we've been spoiled with having good tight ends as of late that are like top end, that are worthy of a first round pick. Like, can you name me a single tight end that's worth a first round pick after the combine? I mean, maybe Tyler, what's his name, but I can't.
Tyler Warren's definitely a first round pick. I think he is going to top 13. I believe Colston Loveland is going to make some team ecstatic. He is the best tight end that no one knows about. If he had a real quarterback in Michigan, oh my God, he would broke every record. He is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. So no, Colston Loveland. I shouldn't say it to anybody because I was going to wait for everyone to just pass him up and let him just follow to me. Let me get all the Colston Loveland love right there. That's what I need. I think he has too many titans. But Terrence Ferguson, I think Terrence Ferguson from Oregon did a great job this past combine. His measurables, he's almost 6'6". He's 247 pounds. He ran a 4.63 40, which is one of the top times with a 1.55 10-yard split. I think he was amazing and very smooth in all the drills. So I'm huge on Ferguson. I think Ferguson moved up to maybe a late second, early third round pick. But I think there's maybe 4 or 5 tight ends that are top 50 players.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Even was it Fannin Jr., Harold Fannin Jr. from Boston College? I think he's another sleeping giant. But all of them ran about 4.6, 4.7 40s, right? Which is fine.
2 tight ends that showed out in the combine too that helped their stock.
What'd
Not
you say,
the top ones. Huh?
That's why I said Ferguson did too. So who do you think is showed out besides Terrence Ferguson?
Showed out. Let me pull my thing back up.
So I saw Ferguson. Thought that he was really good.
Maybe I'm just way too picky on them and whatnot, just because we've been spoiled the last couple of years. But I don't know. To me, I just wasn't too impressed.
Last year, we might have one of the best tight ends that we knew was coming out for 3 years. I mean, for Georgia, we saw him coming.
So Terrence Ferguson was one of them, and then Mason Tyler at LSU.
So Mason Tyler's probably not going to be a 4th round pick. Yeah. So no, you're not wrong. But tight end is actually a pretty deep draft in as far as tight end. These guys are good, and I said Colston Loveland is going to be a star somewhere. Don't be surprised if the Chiefs, instead of trading now their 1st round pick, draft him. As a successor for Travis Kelce.
But they also have Noah Gray. Too, so.
But Colston Loveland
Gray is not going to be.
He's not really a tight end. Yeah, he's not really a tight end. So this Loveland is a tight end, and he's Mark Andrews. That's what he is. He's Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews could be available.
No, you can't.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
We need a young guy. A young guy being able to step in. Tight end's actually a really good position to look at, and I think that there were a lot of winners there. because of the talent. And you also saw no wide receiver that really distinguished themselves.
No.
And I think that helps tight ends too.
Mm-hmm. From that point, I can definitely agree with that.
One thing I will say is a loser. I felt like, of course, Shedeur Sanders is a loser because he didn't do anything, and I heard a lot of negative feedback about him that he's too arrogant.
Oh, there's a shock. Can't imagine.
I can't imagine who his father is. No way.
The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
I'm just going to tell you guys that his father ended up being one of the greatest football players I've ever seen in my entire life. So you probably should just let him be. See what he does.
And I'm not saying there's even a problem with having some arrogance. I'm just saying I'm not.
Caleb Williams is arrogant as fuck. So
yeah, no. The problem is that because he's got the name tied to him, people are going to hold him to much higher expectations. So if he doesn't ball out like his father does, like your father did, like in the first couple of years, people are gonna think, "Oh my God, this guy's a bust," this and that. Even though I don't believe in that, especially for a quarterback, you gotta give him more than just a couple of years before you call him a bust. That's but that's why.
No. So speaking of that, speaking of cats, no, we're gonna talk about the Panthers. No, we're not. Another loser. I honestly, actually, I want to bring this up if I can. Because you did this. I'm trying
While
to
you're bringing that up, I'll say a loser. It's to no fault of his own because he's injured. But I kind of feel bad for Cam Skattebo.
Oh, Skattebo,
only because he wasn't able to partake, and so many running backs that we didn't really know about stood out so well that it could hurt his stock going into the draft.
I like Cam, but I will admit,
I love Cam too.
After revisiting his film tape, I gotta say I think I was a little too high on the guy. Because I was like, man, this guy could easily, if he goes to the right team, could be like a guy that's like the lead back and like he could just do all sorts of havoc causing. But then I realized after watching the film closely, I was like, man, this guy's ball vision skills is kind of like his decision making is not great. He just is a guy who loves going for contact. He will just purposely avoid open lanes just to run into people. And I'm like dude, that's yes, exactly. He so gifted at that. Like his break tackle rate is absurd, like almost 50%.
Only because he has to always break tackles.
Exactly.
If you have that skill and you get on a team that can coach you to do the right thing.
Oh yeah, then he'll be
then you have a guy who can break tackles and his decision making comes better.
Yes, but that will take definitely some time because again, watching the tape, I would rather have like Hendrickson.
Which he doesn't really have because I think he's a senior, so he's all ready to.
No, so he's going to be in this draft, but I think I have him ranked 8th out of all the running backs. Like there's 7 other guys that I have over him.
Well, that's why I'm saying he's a loser from the combine because if he was able to go,
I think you're 100% right.
He might have been able to.
He was 5th, and now he's 8th.
Exactly, like he's falling because he hasn't, and it's like I said, no fault of his own.
I think I have him 7th.
So I have Ashton Genty ahead of him, of course, but I actually have Omarion Hampton 1. I have Ashton Genty 2. I have Caleb Johnson 3.
I saw that report. I think it was it Shefty again who was saying that most executives had Omarion ahead of Genty.
He's bigger, he's faster, he's stronger, like everything about him, and he has less hits. He takes less hits. So I have them 1 and 2. I have Caleb Johnson 3. Everyone knows I love Trevion Henderson. I think he's a monster waiting to happen. I have him 4. I got Dylan Sampson 5. I got Quinshon Judkins. I have him 6. I have Devin Neal 7, and then I got Skattebo.
Interesting. So from my list and your list, it's a little bit flip flop. I think with 3 and 4, and then I have Scat at 7, and I have Neal at 8. But our list is almost identical after that.
I mean, the top. I think the biggest win for a team is to get if someone got Quinshon Judkins in the 3rd or 4th round. That's a huge win because this dude is a 1st round talent.
He is,
and he's a monster. He's bigger. He's bigger than I even thought. I was like, he's 6'2", 221.
Yeah.
And if he did, but he shared the backfield with Travion Henderson, who's a monster in his own right. So I just think that these guys are going to be great going forward.
Oh God, yeah.
Say Jackson Dart winner, Will Howard loser. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel, dude. I don't know how you went to combine. Just want to wait for your pro day. Will Howard wouldn't throw. That was crazy.
That is
There's
crazy.
a lot of people who are like, I'm not going to do it.
You heard what Will Howard said, though. He's like, I don't know these receivers. So it's going to make me look bad. And I'm going to throw with these guys I don't know.
Yeah, but when you get drafted by a team, you're not going to know them.
And that's what the team said. That's exactly what the team said.
Just saying. That's exactly what I would say about it. Like, you can tell me you're going to have any rapport with the receivers you come in with? We're not going to be drafting your receiving core with you.
Well, that's good because it said the loser are these wide receivers dropping the balls and not running the right routes. Everyone,
yeah, I know a lot
all
of people
doing
were
that wrong
planning on those receivers for the quarterbacks.
So that's why they're like, I ain't gonna throw, man. I'd rather take the hit and then show my pro day what I can actually do when I'm in control of what's going on in a controlled environment.
I feel like pro days, like, yeah, they're good, but like they're in a comfortable setting. Like it's different to me. Like, you better shine on your pro day.
I think
if you struggle in those conditions,
I think pro days are for teams that want to draft you and want to feel good about drafting you. They go to your pro day and say,
exactly.
yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. You know, no one's going to fly up the board because they had a great pro day, but, you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have a great combine, you can fly up the board. You have a great pro day, but like, all right, you stay in the course.
Anyone do you think we missed as a big loser?
Tez Johnson out of Oregon.
Oh, yeah, Tez, yeah.
He's the smallest receiver to run that slow since 2003.
Yep. I'm like, dude, you're under 170 pounds.
Yeah, that's what they said. Dude, like, you're 154 pounds.
And they're 300-pound dudes running faster than you.
He did have the fastest 3-cone drill, if that means anything.
Well, I mean, she's quick. He could be a good inside receiver, slot receiver.
That small, you're gonna have some speed to you.
And he doesn't.
I saw that and I was like, whoa, 2003.
So no, I think I agree with all those guys. I think that those are losers. Those are the winners. I think Abdul Carter might be a loser because he might, as Anthony was asking, is it possible he drops to 7?
Yeah, kind of the same position with Cam Scadaboo, where he doesn't do, and then you have Pierce and all these other guys who are balling out.
I don't care. I don't think any defensive end is better than him.
I don't either.
But other positions can now jump him, right? Because I think 2 quarterbacks could go before him. I think you're going to see a defensive tackle, Mason Graham, unless Mason Graham falls. Mason Graham could fall too, though, guys. Don't get me wrong. But if he passes the Patriots and he passes the Panthers, the Bears might have a hard time choosing him. If he passes the Bears, we're talking about 13. For a guy who's a top 4 talent.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we're looking at. I mean, this can happen. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about about the combine? From the combine?
No, I think we covered most things.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. I can't think of any more of my standouts that I enjoyed. There's obviously. But I
guess all black players ain't fast.
Nah, I guess not.
And I guess all white receivers aren't slow. How about that?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure Philly's going to get him. Add him to the exciting whites.
Yes. Welcome. Say hello to the exciting whites. As a white man, I could say I'm as proud as can be and white. Why am I cut off from the stream? What's going on?
Exactly. Well, all of a sudden you're like, and goodbye. All right. So we also had a couple trade requests now. So we already know about Myles Garrett, but now DK Metcalf has joined into these trade requests. How do you feel about DK Metcalf, and where do you think he might go?
I would hate to say this because it would be great, although they already got Debo, so they probably won't pull the trigger per se. But I think I'm just saying that if the Commanders somehow got him, that would be so much better than Debo, and that would be really great for that offense as a whole. And they have so much cap space to do it in. I don't know how much the Debo trade is hitting their cap. So
17.5.
Okay, but they also have a lot of cap. So
for a receiver, I don't think.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, he would be great. But realistically, no, probably not go there. Obviously, they're not going to trade.
I heard Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper, yeah.
Signed by us.
But no, I just think it's kind of funny
in that trade, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny that literally within like the same 5 minutes, Tyler Lockett gone from the Seahawks. And then
and the DK request trade.
I'm like, what's going on in Seattle, my guy?
What's going on with the NFC West? Because now you got
who's on this trade going crazy. So
they get rid of all the offensive weapons in the NFC
Commanders
West?
Would be great. I think a ideal fit, though. Again, I don't know how likely it is to happen. I think someone like the Packers would be an amazing fit for it. I know you don't like that, Byron, but
I hate it. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe they throw Jair Alexander in the trade back to the Seattle.
You know,
I hate that. Don't get me wrong, but it makes too much sense, and that's why I can't sit there and say no. There's no way.
Well, the last thing that receiving core needs is a solid veteran to lead the way.
The only hope I have is that the Green Bay Packers are still in the NFC, and Seattle doesn't want to trade him to the NFC and have to play him.
Yeah.
That's my only hope.
What would
Bills would be a good spot for DK.
That would be a great spot.
That being said, yeah, Bills I think would be good.
DK on one side, Coleman on the other.
Exactly. You got James Cook in the backfield. I think a second gets you DK. A second.
Just a second?
Oh, easy.
Yeah, just a second.
Not like a player on top of that, just so, hey, we'll be second round pick.
Well, the issue is he's disgruntled, and this is the last year of his contract.
This is last year of his contract, yep.
So, yeah.
I think the Bills is a great one, too. I agree. It wouldn't be my number one from the AFC, but I think that's a great fit. What about, okay, so I got three other teams. For you guys. You tell me if you like. Chiefs are one.
Yep.
Chiefs make a lot of sense after losing in the
He's not my number one for the AFC, and I was like, oh, Chiefs.
I think that the Chiefs would be so smart to go ahead and do that, especially at the shocker, and they see, DeAndre Hopkins and Juju Smith wasn't good enough to win. Maybe we'll get a real receiver that's not, running a 4.8 40.
They're all free agents now too. No Hollywood, no Hopkins, no Juju.
It'll just be so you have a big one and you have Xavier Worthy. I think that will work really well, Kansas City. Okay. My next one is the Baltimore Ravens. Why don't you just get the whole trinity, like the best quarterback, the biggest running back, they need the biggest wide receiver. Let's just get them all. We got the biggest tight end. Just get them all. Let's do it all for the Baltimore Ravens. I think that would be a really good fit with Lamar.
The biggest tight end.
Well, I say likely he's not a tight end. So,
yes, he is. What are you talking about?
Isaiah likely is not tight end. I don't care what anyone says. He's if you can't block, can't put your hand on the ground, you ain't a tight end. Just sorry, he's a split end, maybe. I'll give him that. But I think Baltimore will work really well with TK.
Chargers.
And that's the team.
Man,
that's it. That's the one. That's the one right there. I think the Chargers makes so much sense.
Herbert watching win a playoff game now. That'd be great.
Justin Herbert going to Harbaugh's the perfect head coach for DK, right? He's going to give him all the stuff. He's going to give him more weapons. They already established the run. Now they can work on the pass. And next thing you know, maybe they can unseat the Kansas City Chiefs with DK Metcalf. I think that's the perfect place that no one's thinking about. Let's go Chargers. Go get DK Metcalf. Stop the fucking Packers, please.
No. I would love to watch that. Watch it all burn.
Marvin says not enough balls to catch in Washington. That if you add another guy, that's too much. Yeah, I've said that's the problem. You need to have two good receivers.
Exactly. He's like, hold on a second. I would like that. I'm offended by this.
It's just to say that every wide receiver Chargers are rushing to get them. Yes, the Chargers are rushing to get any wide receiver they can. They don't have anymore, and they have the cap space now. I wouldn't be surprised if they get DK and Keenan Allen comes back on a team friendly deal.
Mm.
Why DK going to Baltimore to block for Henry?
Yeah, bro. Max. What about the
DK to Pittsburgh?
Sure.
Pittsburgh, I don't think they have anything to trade for him. Because this has to be a trade. This is not just a sign. You know?
Yeah, he says, but
that's why he won't go to the 49ers. It won't.
I agree.
What about the Jaguars since they just cut Christian Kirk?
They don't have the money. Or the player.
Yeah.
So, like, it's the players, too. I mean, they don't have the draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have the 5th overall pick.
Are you giving that up?
Hey,
you said they don't have draft capital. I'm saying
that alone would land them DK.
The second overall, the 5th overall pick in the second
DK
round.
will get there. He'd be like, I didn't see that coming either. I think you overpaid, bro.
He's like, but thanks for the confidence.
I guess. I said, I'm leaving next year, but yeah, cool. I'll play with you 1 year, whatever.
He's like, yeah, I'll play a year here. That's cool.
All right, so now with all the free agency stuff, there's another thing. We have a lot of movement. So the Rams have released cornerback Travius Tomlinson. He's now on waivers. The Chargers are going to tender Tucker Fisk. They're going to get rid of him. Chubbs, Bradley Chubb has restructured his contract. That was Tucker Fisk.
Oh, Tusk. Okay.
Yeah, Tucker Fisk. Yeah, so he will be announced. They tendered on Fisk. So the Dolphins restructured Bradley Chubb's deal.
I saw that.
So he can stay there.
Mm-hmm.
We got Alex Austin is signing an exclusive right tender with the Patriots. The 6'1"
talk about the elephant in the room. All the things the Cowboys did to free up $56.6 million in cap space.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's times like this where football confuses me. I'm CD Lamb, and I'm going to set out all offseason to get my contract.
Yep.
And then a year later, I'm like, let's restructure.
Because he gets his money up front. No, because you get your money up front. You restructure, but you still get the same amount of money, and your signing bonus becomes that entire contract. So you get that money now in your pocket.
Same thing with that.
You care. It's true. NFL players care about two things. They care about the signing bonus and all the guarantees. Although those two things matter the most to elite players, the rest of it can be all worked out years down the road.
Did anyone hear about Tank Dell undergoing another surgery on his knee?
To be fair, I didn't really have him playing this year anyways.
Another surgery? That's scary.
Mm-hmm. I'm not too happy with that because he's such a good player.
Honestly, the Texans wouldn't give up Tank Dell to get Debo.
Stop.
That's what the 49ers tried to get.
Tank Dell.
That's so funny.
Good. Gosh,
but it's because who's his best friend? That's what it always comes down to.
Yeah,
the Dolphins tendered Keon Smith and Cameron Good. We got Jackson Kirkland, offensive lineman for the Bengals, is coming back on a 1-year deal. The Giants re-signed the long snapper Crater.
There's that Barkley money, baby. Let's go.
Is there any way since he tag and trade Higgins? Let's be real, Higgins not going to play under the.
Oh no, gosh, yeah, that was disrespect.
No, but I think they tagged him and they're trying to work out a long-term deal.
It's funny. Well, they can't. They're not even close with Chase.
Yeah,
but they what didn't the GM say that we're going to make him the highest paid wide receiver?
They said it, and then 2 days later it came out that they're not even close.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm like, you can't work. You're gonna try and get Higgins. You can't even work with Chase. Hey, what do you think about the Vikings not franchising Sam Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
That was weird,
right?
That's great.
It doesn't show.
Or release Diggs.
He hasn't really been the same since his ACL injury. So, and I think is his rookie contract up? Did he sign an extension?
I'll have to check.
I think it's his rookie contract that's up.
I believe you're right.
What'd you hear about?
I'm not shocked by that at all.
What about Cooper Kupp? Will you be surprised if the Rams held on to him for a year?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but it's still kind of weird to come out and publicly say, "Hey, we're trading you." The day after the man says he wants to retire a Ram, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
And what
It's nice you want to retire a Ram. We're trading.
So apparently the Rams never even went to Cooper Kupp about restructuring his contract either.
Wow.
They never asked him. He's like, man, if they only came to me, maybe I would have been willing to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't really think they gave Stafford a choice either. They're like, hey, we're restructuring your deal. You can go see what other people want to pay you. But this is what we're offering you. He goes and chats with other teams, and he comes back. Where's the contract?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I make a semi-bold prediction? It's not really bold, honestly. But I think – so I know Eagles cut Darius Slay, but Darius Slay has said very recently
he's going to restructure his contract and come back to the Eagles. Yeah.
Yes, which is great. He says as long as the money's good enough, I don't care. Like he's not asking for a big contract. He just wants to play one more year. So I think that was smart. You release him, get him for a little bit less money, and he'll be happy.
No, you could just ask him. He would have restructured for you. But everyone's afraid to come and talk to them. He doesn't want to uproot his family. He only has one more year he wants to play.
They did the same thing with Fletcher Cox years ago, where instead of restructuring because it saved them some money in the cap, they just cut him, and then a few weeks later they just signed him to a 1-year deal. It's all money relatively at the end of the day.
The reason they did is because the signing bonus. He has a end of year, new year deal that he would get $3 million roster bonus. Yeah, that he would have $3 million. So they cut him and they'll redo the contract, but he'll lose that $3 million. Well, that they might give to him in a signing bonus,
right?
But it'll take less money from his actual salary.
Correct.
So it's better than restructure. I just don't like you do that to a team.
No, I get you. Although I am happy that they extended Barkley, even though I thought that was a little bit crazy to me when I first started. Like, why you already got him for 2 years?
But now, $41 million.
Yes, but now you got him for 4 total years.
When I love him in the history of the NFL, which is
he's going to retire. He's going to retire probably at Philadelphia Eagle.
It is the perfect, and I know I'm an Eagles fan, so I know that sometimes that may sound biased, but I think it's the perfect way because he's not nowhere. What is he? 27, 28 years old right now, Barkley, right? He's like
I think he's 27.
27, yeah. So you get him for 4 more years. He'll be in his 30s, and as we know, running backs start to decline typically once they start entering their 30s. So you get him, and the way the contract is structured, it's not a huge cap hit for these first 2 years, and even the years after that, it won't be that dramatic. So you set up so he's still in his prime, he's still great, and then after that, he can decide if he wants to retire. I'm here. He say he wants to retire an Eagle, which is great, but that's a great way to handle that contract. I also love how they handled Zach Bond.
3 year, $51 million contract.
Yeah, that was a great contract for a guy that finally was given a chance to be the mic, to be the head guy, and he earned every penny of that. So that was a great signing for the Eagles, I think.
Here's my question to you guys about Saquon. Has Saquon reset the running back market?
Yes.
Will other running backs get paid because what Saquon just did?
It's hard to say exactly which running back will get.
I think they might get paid, but I don't think they're going to get close to what he's getting.
Well, you can make an argument for like Jahmyr Gibbs or
Jahmyr Gibbs probably gets
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. How crazy is it though? What is it? $21 million he's getting for those 2 years?
So it's a 2 year, 41.05.
Just over $20 million.
It's like
just over $20 million.
Highest yearly salary for a running back in history.
So
yeah, Max Crosby, defensive end.
Yes,
highest paid non-quarterback in history of the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
That's nuts.
But no, to answer your question,
receivers
I think
just willy-nilly getting $30 million here, $30 million there.
Next year,
running backs can't even get over 20 million.
Yeah,
but this is what it is.
They hate running backs so much.
I think he is going to. He has redone it. What do you think, Alec?
Yes, I think that he will. The problem is that my only issue is actually not the contracts. None of that. It's actually because I'm not sure when Gibbs and Robinson's contract is like the rookie contract is done with. So my biggest thing is, are the Lions willing to pay Gibbs that much when they already have like a great 1-2 punch, or will they pay him just like a little bit less to make Gibbs like the second highest paid? Because when Todd Gurley reset the market and Ezekiel Elliott, we saw how that worked out. So the way I look at it is that I think he does, but I don't. Unlike wide receiver and quarterback, I don't think we're going to see the same impact until like at least a year down the road or 2 years down the road before we actually see if it's going to hit 20+ million now for these elite running backs and what the new average is going to be. It's not an immediate thing, no, but down the road, yes, I think it does reset the market.
Okay, so in 2026, we will have, of course, Derrick Henry being unrestricted free agent. We have Breece Hall, K9, Kenneth Walker, will be James Cook.
None of these people are going to get close.
No.
Your boy Brian Robinson.
Not going to get close.
Hey, now Brian Robinson.
Well, I think he's right on some of these.
He's really good. Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Robinson.
I think you guys said the two names who can get close. Jahmyr Gibbs, absolutely.
And Bijan.
And maybe Bijan if he can do something this upcoming season.
I think it's possible Breece Hall, if he has a bounce back year, can do that. And same thing with K9.
That's a big
but
if.
That's
the same thing with K9. Kenneth Walker.
Basically. Yeah.
Kenneth Walker could also do the same thing. It doesn't mean it has to come from the same organization, guys.
No, I understand that. Here's
this
my
is
thing with Walker, too injury prone. No one's going to sink that much money into a guy who's hurt all the time.
He's played 14. He's averaged 14.5 games. I know it sounds like he's always injured, but he's averaged 14.5 games in his career. So I'm just saying that's happening. Anthony said, breaking news, the Chargers have released Joey Bosa.
No way, really? Wait, did that just happen?
That's shocking.
No, it's not that shocking.
I already got rid of Khalil Mack, so
I know my friend who drafted
Joey
Bosa in our last year in our fantasy league. I'm sure he's like, no, he's probably down on his knees somewhere at a gas station. I'm like, no, not Joey. No, Joey Bosa.
I still remember the uproar I got when I released Joey Bosa from my Dynasty. Just straight up got rid of him. And everyone was like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Dude did nothing since I released him. Nothing. I was like, take that, you people. I knew what I was doing. I can evaluate talent.
Man.
Yeah, so he has definitely been released. Saved $25.3 million for him. Yes, Anthony said.
That's great.
Movement says $25.3 million. According to Over the Cap, the Bosa will save about $25.3 million over the 2025 salary cap. Releasing Bosa, this brings the current projected salary cap to about $91 million.
That's a lot of cap.
Yep. So who are they getting ready to go grab, guys?
Are they gonna make a play? It'll definitely not free agency. They'll definitely make a play, maybe the draft. Unless they wouldn't make a play for Garrett.
Or DK.
You see, DK makes sense.
But why not
DK
both?
would make sense. Why not both? Can they? Let me ask this: can they realistically give up enough to get both? Like,
I don't think I don't think you can get T. Higgins, but I do believe you can get DK and you can get Myles Garrett, possibly, because you got rid of both of your defensive ends. You have no defensive end. Myles Garrett is not going to cost you the same amount of money as Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa.
Yeah, that's right.
So you really be saving money and still getting the best guy, but you have to trade for him.
Yeah, and
they're asking him and DK.
Yeah, so I don't know. That one would be tricky to pull off. I don't know how I would even begin to start that trade. I mean, the DK one is a lot easier. I think that one's more likely to happen than most game Myles Garrett.
What do you think, Mark? Who do you think the Chargers might be going towards or looking for with this move?
I'm trying to think, like free agency. I don't really think there's anybody out there like that's that big a name.
I mean, yeah, I don't know free agency. Yeah, that's weird. Saving the money is huge.
Josh Sweat, if the Eagles do nothing with him, he would be a guy that'd be interesting to pick up for them.
Would Joshua and DK Metcalf be a good move?
That would be an aggressive move, and more GMs need to be aggressive. So I think that would be, to me, that'd be like a solid A rating. If they could get both, get one in trade, get Josh in free agency. Now you're securing your line. You now have a great solid, dominant wide receiver 1, get wide receiver 2. I mean, I think that they'd be just fine offensively, and then they'd work on that D line. So I think they'd be okay. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just typed in Chargers, new rumors. They said they're all going to go all in for DK Metcalf.
There you go. That a baby.
DK is the only one that makes sense, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, and they're laying out, trying to figure out if they want Myles Garrett or not. I agree. I think Hassan Reddick might be a better.
Well, they definitely have the money to pay him, and that's all he wants. He wants his bag. So,
Is this real? Why do I keep seeing Nick Bolton on free agency boards?
I know.
This is insane to me.
Is he
just
supposed
gonna
to
let
be
this dude walk away?
Yeah, because they can't afford him. Think about what they did. Tooney has been their best lineman for 8 years, and they just traded him for what, a fifth, a 2026 fifth.
Yeah.
And they said that he doesn't have a huge market. Maybe the Bengals.
That's right, because didn't Jermaine Pratt ask for a trade? Didn't he want that? So that would make sense. That wouldn't be bad either. I'm trying to think of teams that also are needed for linebackers. Jermaine Pratt would be a great pickup. That or Logan Wilson, though Logan Wilson's been getting hurt as of late.
What if the Cowboys go get him?
Well, if you listen to Jerry Jones, which I think no one should ever do, but he said that we're going to not focus on the free agency, like hard into free agency, which I think is ridiculous.
A repeat of last year.
It is. The difference is that it's polar opposites. Last year's like, we're all in, nothing. This year, we're not going to do anything. I learned from my mistakes. I've been taking my meds. Trust me, we're not doing nothing.
I think the Chiefs are dumb for even entertaining Nick Bolton being out, but whatever. Do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared on where he might end up.
I'm gonna say I can see Tennessee, I can see Cincinnati, I can see Dallas. Any of those three teams would make a lot of sense.
I think you'd be happy if he became a Bear.
I don't need him.
Room for him.
I know, but what I mean is
you're already 5 deep at linebacker.
we just got rid of one of our guys. So
I mean, I'd say I'd take him.
Check Sanborn.
I'd rather. No offense, Bobby Wagner, but I'd almost rather have Nick Bolton.
How old do you think Nick Bolton is, Alec?
How old do I think he is? Oh man, I'm terrible with age.
How old do you think he is?
He is young though. He has to be young. I'm gonna say he's like 20, 26,
25.
25. He'll be 26 next season. He will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah, no.
So a middle linebacker who's making all the plays for you off the line, making all your tackles, and you're getting rid of him?
The only way I'd ever get rid of someone who is that talented is if, one, I signed him to a certain deal, and then I look to trade him based off of his performance and that deal itself. And then assuming there's not a huge dead cap hit and whatnot, then you trade him for what he's worth. You're right. Young linebackers are that talented are very hard to come by. And so you could easily ask for, and depending on what the team's needs are, you can ask anywhere from a late first to a second, a third, maybe swap picks somewhere in there. I think it's very possible they could do that. But you're right. I wouldn't just let him walk away. That would be just the biggest mistake.
They should be franchising him.
Right? Check out this description. 3 down linebackers are hard to find, and Bolton barely took a snap off. You won't find a better person a better off the ball linebacker. So not only is he on there all the time, he's considered one of the best off the ball linebackers in the NFL.
He's not the best because Baltimore has the best.
One of the best.
Yeah, Baltimore has the best.
I also like
Ernest Jones. Did it say the best?
They traded him.
So I think bold predictions. If we don't keep Bobby Wagner, he's going to the Rams.
Oh, that would make so much sense.
Going back to the Rams?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
You wouldn't go to the Raiders?
Nah. Why
You
would he
care?
want to play? Why would he want to? No. Why would he want to go play for the Raiders? What are the Raiders going to do?
Because Pete
people
Carroll
love
is
Pete Carroll, that's why.
his
Right,
old coach.
but at the end of the day, it matters about winning too. And the Raiders
They're bringing in all the
Rams.
old Seahawks players. Russell
Yeah,
Wilson's
but
QB.
that's just a story
Wagner
to
will play middle
just tell
linebacker.
kids. You know,
I'm sure they're going to get
I don't
Cam
think they will.
Chancellor and
Cam Chancellor,
what's his name? A call to see if they're available.
Is that
Cam Chancellor can't walk across the damn field.
yeah no for sure no.
Richard Sherman,
Rams make
he's
losses.
busy. Bring back the Legion of Boom.
Legion go. Oh,
There goes my head. Hold on.
my back. All right. Here's other news. So there's interest from both the Steelers and Justin Fields camp for him signing a multi-year deal.
Do it.
The problem is they can't agree on how much money. What do you feel like will be a fair deal for Justin Fields to sign with the Steelers? What do you think? What will be actually fair for you?
First, let me just ask the question because I haven't looked at it. What's the current QB market like for average? Just like the average per
42.
year.
Well,
42?
that's the average of the top five.
Damn, I wish I was quarterback. Okay. If that's the average, I think they're
let's
definitely.
put it this way: the starting contract offer for Purdy was $45 million a season.
Oh, okay, you know what? If that's the case, I think that's right on the wheelhouse of what he could be getting, if not a little bit more. I only say that because generally speaking, when you have a guy who's
Fields?
that mobile, Fields, yeah,
It's too much.
30,
I think
35
it is too much, but at the end of the day, I feel like the Steelers are going to overpay based off of how he performed, and he performed really well. And the problem is that quarterback is such a position that is you need your guy in today's world, and he's a guy who can run, pass.
Oh, Lord,
all
Anthony,
those
do you
things.
hate this man?
Yeah, no, that's a terrible deal. He would fire his agent on the spot if he accepted that deal.
I
No.
think the Steelers come in 30 to 35 million a season.
I
think you guys are
see
way
40
over.
to 45.
You think it's
think
less
you
than
guys-
30?
I think you guys are
Even
way
though-
over. Way over.
Less than 30. I thought I was.
Mhm. I think Justin Fields will
agree.
sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm just gonna let you guys for a 3-year deal for $73 million.
So then that
Damn.
would be what?
It's
About
just over
23 to
20.
$24
Yeah.
million a year.
Mm,
23 to $24 million a year. I don't think he wants to sign a 4-year deal because if
Four's
he's
too long. Yeah,
if
four's
he's
too long.
good, he needs to
Should be
get out of that
3,
contract,
probably.
right?
Yeah.
I think
I
a
thought I was thinking
3-year.
maybe 2 years because then he'd be 28.
okay, so then
You think you get 2 good years
If
under
we're
his belt,
doing
he might
that-
work his way to another contract.
He
Kind
actually
of like all
yeah.
of, Sam Darnold.
He just turned 26, right? So he'll pay all this year's 26, all next year.
Next
the
year's
following year's
27, and then he'll go into his 28 year. I thought he would go as a free agent. But
let me ask you this:
That's
Who
actually a
would
good
you-
deal to you.
Let me ask you: who would you rather have, Purdy or Fields?
Purdy.
It's close. It's
So-
close. If I'm Pittsburgh, my answer is Justin Fields.
Well, this could
If
be a
I'm saying-
telling year because if they do get rid of Ayuk and Purdy has no weapons,
Yeah, he's gonna be
we'll be able to
another
see
bust.
just how good Purdy is.
You know,
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm thinking Justin Fields is better for Pittsburgh. If I'm the Rams or San Francisco, I want Purdy, right? Because I got talent around it. But the Steelers don't have nobody.
Much lower, Anthony.
Would you lower his contract and give him more guaranteed money? I will. No, I honestly probably tell him. I think the 3-year, $73 million contract, fully guaranteed, would probably be something like that. I'll be looking for.
Fully guaranteed that.
Fully guaranteed, because what I'm doing, I'm paying him half of what a really good starting quarterback, and I can still release him. Or I say the first 2 years fully guaranteed. How about that? 3 years, $73 million. First 2 years fully guaranteed, and then if he's not good, I can get rid of him that 3rd year, not lose any money, and I could draft someone great. Arch Manning, exactly. That's what 2 years.
Yeah.
So, but you sign a 3-year contract. You offer him that $73 million. Those first 2 years are guaranteed. So guaranteed money is something like, let's say we say $52 million. We go guarantee you $52 million. That third year, we're either going to re-sign him for a bit much bigger contract, or we're going to go ahead and let him go before it. And that gives me 2 years to figure out if he's good enough. Just feels with one no trade clause in that deal. Nope.
No, he's not.
I'm not giving you no trade clause.
No trade clause.
You're not getting no trade clause. You Justin Fields. You're not Patrick Mahomes.
So then, what happens to Russ? Is Russ gonna cook or not?
Russ, no, he's gonna go cook in. Was it Circa Las Vegas?
There you go.
Circus du Soleil.
I used to be a quarterback, guys. I know my way around a kitchen. Let me cook.
He's going to be unlimited in Las Vegas.
He'll be at the quarterback show.
And do you think it's that possible that a QB needing team like the Raiders would make a play for Russ?
No, that's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah,
Las Vegas.
Oh yeah,
that's Las Vegas. That makes.
Of course, I missed the joke in there.
That's where Circus DLA is.
Or even Circus Sports, the casino. Well, all the sports stuff that's in Vegas too. So that's why that's where we're going. I think he's going there. I think Sam Darnold. I think he's off a lot of people's list. He's going to end up somewhere he doesn't want to end up, I think.
Oh, that's true. I guess I keep forgetting Sam Darnold. I know Pete Carroll said he wanted Sam.
He loves him, and if they can come out with a good deal, then Russ doesn't go there.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, oh wait, I forgot about Sam Darnold.
And if that's the case, then Russ goes to possibly the Jets.
Man, where everybody's career goes to die. It used to be the Browns, but now it's the Jets.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Browns is where your career still dies too.
Well, yes, but I have listen. Even though that is so true, can we just talk about how bad the Jets organization must be? Because every time I see somebody play for them, they look awful. But then they go somewhere else and they play great. So something internally is wrong over there. I don't know what it is. It's only like certain positions can do really well, but most of the time, if it's offense, no. They just
I think they're cursed.
There's one exception. That's Mark Sanchez. He was okay as the Jets, and then when
Sanchez took it to the AFC Championship game, right?
He was
Sanchez,
and then one butt fumble later, and then there he went.
The butt fumble.
Oh man, is there anyone that we're kind of forgetting in free agency that's going to be a big mover, or anyone who's been franchised that you see going somewhere else? Now I would have said Trey Smith, but now that Tooney's going, I don't think they're going to let him go anymore.
No.
T. Higgins, possibly.
Maybe. I think would be the biggest one who could get traded.
I see. My problem is that some of the guys in free agency are reliable pieces, but they're not like huge. Like, oh, they would just complete the team kind of thing. Like, if you're going to talk about like, this guy's super old, but he's always consistent. Tyler Lockett, solid, wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 at this point in his career. Solid guy, great locker room guy, but wouldn't be a big splash. Wouldn't be something that would catch major headlines. I don't know. Well, thank you.
Says, Philadelphia, I love you.
I love you too.
Hey, what about Chris Godwin?
Chris Godwin's.
Yeah.
What do you think his market is?
2025?
He's 28 years old, right?
29.
29?
He did have the ACL 2 seasons ago and then the dislocated ankle last year.
I think he signs an $18-19 million deal.
Too early to call him injury, bro?
Not too far off. I went higher, should have gone lower. 15 to 20 would have been right there.
15, 20, exactly. I would have been.
What
Yes.
do you think the Cowboys would be a good fit for him? Be a lot right beside CD. There's no other competition. They need a clear wide receiver too, and Chris Godwin fits that role pretty nicely. What do you think? It's interesting.
That's a very interesting thought.
It's not a bad pick.
I like that actually. I
mean,
was
you have
thinking
your usuals. You got the Bills. You got.
I was say the Chargers again.
Chargers again. Yeah, depending on. I mean, even if they do get DK, you imagine
DK and Chris Godwin. That changes the entire outlook of that team. And now you look at the
same
Chiefs.
note. I know they
Chiefs.
said Amari Cooper, who was also on this list, at 11. But what if the Commanders kick the tires? Can't have too many weapons.
Yes, you can. That's
those are all kind of the same player, aren't they?
You can't have too many weapons. You can't have all these same guys on the team.
You just had 3 receivers for the Chargers. Now then I say the Commanders. You're like, no.
Because they have a rookie. They have a rookie, right?
What? They don't have a rookie.
No.
Who? No, we're talking about the Chargers.
They don't have a rookie. He already played a full season.
Oh, he's a young guy that's going to be
Okay, he's young, but he's not a rookie.
Come on now.
He's until the draft, he's a rookie.
McConkey.
We're still in the 2025 season because the 2026 season has not started yet. So
Can
guess
you
what?
imagine
You two are wrong.
Okay.
McConkey in the slot. That'd be insane.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be unbelievable. That would. I think that team can work. I don't think it works there. For you guys, I think when you said you need someone who's going to be an older guy that's going to be reliable, Amari Cooper works really well for Washington. I think Amari Cooper makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams.
I think Devontae Adams, he can work in a lot of places.
He also wants to play for a team that actually has a quarterback, who can not get him killed every play. That was the biggest criticism when he was with the Raiders.
I always say he should go back home.
We go back home?
Let's go back home.
Which one's
home?
Don't get me wrong. I don't want him to be there, but because he's a Bears killer. But yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense for him.
And they do need is Adams at this point in his career a true number 1 still, or do you think that his name would just draw the presence for the other wide receivers that are younger to eat? Which one do you think is more likely?
I think you have to get a draft a high pick, and you get Devontae Adams to show him the way.
Well, I think if you look at the receiving core that they have, I think the one thing they're missing is veteran leadership. Like they have the very young, very talented receiving core, but they just seem to fall short sometimes, or a lot of times.
They don't know how to stay healthy.
Devontae Adams, who can come in and be like, this is how you do things. This is how you get better. I feel like that receiving core gets taken to the next level.
Because they have 3 young guys, and admittedly, it's not like any of them are a true wide receiver 1 yet, but they all are so great at different things. Jayden Reed may not be the most efficient guy out there, but he's great for returns. He's a guy that can go off at random points of time during games where he just gets big yards after catch. Wicks, amazing in man coverage. He's a great wide receiver. He had a down year last year, but he's solid. And then Dobbs. And Dobbs, I think, is what? Loves fair target. Hasn't he said that? And so they have a good connection already, but none of them.
Rid of him.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of Dobbs. If I was
I'm not thinking about Christian Watson, who I thought was trending to be their number 1 receiver.
No, I never
he's
believed
another
that
person to get rid of.
Listen,
he's had hamstring problems everywhere he's ever gone.
Correct. It's like, I don't know. Well, I get it. When he's on the field, he's talented, but that's when he is the best available. The best players out there are the ones who are constantly playing, and he's
the best ability is availability.
Correct. And I'm pretty sure we could probably pull up the numbers right now and compare it to the different positions. But James Conner, for example, a guy who's outside last year, always seems to be hurt. So that would be interesting to see how many games on average those guys play. Anyways.
So I'm pushing for DJ Reed or Hassan Reddick to go to Washington.
Washington.
I like it. Mark, what do you think about Darius Slayton? He's going back.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't. Yeah, we're not getting Darius Lee.
No.
He's
Wish.
I don't know.
I mean, Hassan Reddick is intriguing, but it's
Mhm.
like, what Hassan Reddick are we gonna get? And how much money does he want? Because
He
he wants at least 17 million, at least.
exactly.
in the bag. He's robbing everybody.
I don't know. I think Washington has to make some tough decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now that they've got a taste of a little bit of success, they are now trying to decide, okay, what's the team's identity going to be now going forward? Are they a team that was just a one-hit wonder and that every year they go to the playoffs, they go like the Cowboys one and done or make it as far as the divisional round? They have a lot of questions they have to answer. They definitely have the quarterback. I think they have decent, if not solid coaching now.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to see. And they really just need to focus on their weaknesses, build that up, and, of course, get wide receiver. But
what do you – they already do. They have Debo Samuel. So that works really well for them. My question now is, do they go running back? Do you guys go for a running back? What do you think, Mark?
I think we need to. I mean, the one thing you look at the inefficiencies that we had in offense last year, it was definitely running the ball.
mm-hmm.
Like there were times where it'd be 1st and goal from the 1, and Brian Robinson, to save his life, could not cross that goal line. And then we'd go for it on 4th down, and then Jaden Daniels would either pass it for the touchdown or run it in himself. And I'm like, bro, you had 3 chances to go 1 inch. And that could also fall on the offensive line as well.
Yeah, but you won't get a major push. You do need another guard. Yeah. I think you need. Yeah, I said it. Another guard. I would like to get another tackle.
We definitely need a tackle for sure.
Yeah. Would you be willing to go Aaron Jones?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I'm literally on him right now. Is he an upgrade to what we already had?
Yes.
Even at age 30?
Yes.
Remind me, because I'm not sure of Austin Eckler's contract. Was his just a 1-year deal, or is he there for multiple years?
I think it was like a 2 or 3 year deal. But
I think it's a 2-year deal.
If you were to ask me, I think yes, they would go running back. Will they? I don't think so, because I don't think Robinson is the exact answer. I've never been the biggest fan of Robinson to begin with, and I thought Austin Eckler had a nice bounce back year, to be honest, before he got hurt. But I think that they need to. Someone like a Neal would be great. I think that'd be nice because I'm not going to spend like a 1st or 2nd round pick on a running back. But I think you.
But that's what I'm saying. You pay for one. We have money. You pay for one. So
I just don't.
Aaron Jones. I don't like Najee because I think Najee's the same thing as what you got. Brian Robinson, Najee,
yes,
the same guy.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Aaron Jones. I'm kind of with Mark. I think. If you're spending a lot of dough for a running back at the age of 30, I feel like that's a huge risk that you're taking on.
Work for Baltimore.
Henry is way different than Aaron Jones. Okay, Aaron on. Jones now.
PFF rating for running last year was 75.8. He's his 8th 75 plus PFF overall grading.
Mm-hmm.
He's also someone who's had injury issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
Injury issues to a point. I mean, he still played. How many games do you think Aaron Jones played last year? Before I say
that, he's got the receipts ready.
I know he missed at least 1 game.
You're right. He played 15 games.
See, that was 2 games he missed.
That's 15 games. That's a lot of games to play. He had over 255 carries. He had over 1,100 yards.
He would be great, I think. The problem is that I just think if you still have Austin Eckler and Robinson, and now you're getting
Robinson. That's what I'm saying.
You would have to, you would have to release one of those guys, and it's like you're talking about like guys who are already older. I mean, Robinson would be the youngest, I think, out of that group, if I remember right. But
it'd be Rob, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So then, you would have to, but. I don't know. I guess to me, I focus more on if you're going to make a splash in the free agency, there's not, unlike last year, where there were so many great running backs that were at free agency. Joe Mixon, obviously Saquon Barkley, Henry. This year, there's not as many great backs that are in that echelon tier. I think Aaron Jones would be a decent upgrade, but I don't think he would move bridges for the team. I think, again, you should build young late in the draft because we are such a stacked running back draft, and then you can go from there. That's just what I think.
Okay, you ready to wait for them to mature?
Sure. I mean, you still got.
The next best available back would be Najee Harris.
And that's my point. Aaron Jones is like, you either get Aaron Jones or you don't. That's it. That's where the level is.
Going back to edge rusher real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of Azeez Ojulari? Because he's available. Only
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think Ojulari is going to cost you some money.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, I know he's got a little work to do. Even this says the Giants never seem to trust on a down-to-down basis, but the man can rush the passer. At worst, he's a useful situational edge rusher.
Exactly, but he's a useful situational edge rusher that's going to cost you $14 to $16 million. If you wanted that, you might as well kept what you had already. It's young.
After he's 7 years younger.
No, I'm saying that's young.
That's what I'm saying. The guys we had were 32 and 33.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm talking about from 2 years ago. You just got rid of Young.
Oh, you're talking about Chase Young.
Yeah.
He's available too.
That's the same guy.
We could bring him in. He's only 26.
But it's the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already had that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was
Situational. That's what he is. He's a situational guy.
What are y'all going to do with Jonathan Allen?
Young reminds me of a poor man's J. Davion Clowney.
Yeah.
This is not an insult. That's the path of a long career as a solid starter for hire.
With a messed up neck.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So, what do you think you're going to do with Jonathan Allen?
Oh, I mean, I've heard Cardinals. I've heard. That's about all I've heard, honestly. It's been pretty crickety.
Well, I just heard that if you can't find a trade partner, you're going to release him. So why wouldn't anyone just wait for you to release him?
Yeah. Might as well just release him.
You don't want to. They'll want to go into the 2026 season, so you have to release him. So why would I trade for him if I'm going to know you're going to release him?
No wrong.
It could be like a money thing. Maybe you get him less if you trade for him now versus maybe in free agency. Maybe it will cost a little bit more, but
I don't think he does that after being released. And I see him going to Washington. And Washington going to Detroit.
Detroit. Ooh.
I know Jonathan Allen would love to go to Chicago. So those are the two places I could see in the NFC that he goes, Chicago or Detroit. That will really, I think he really elevates that team if he goes to either one of them.
Yeah.
Kadani in the building. What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday. What's up, Kadani?
How you doing?
Are you okay? We need to check on our 49er fans. Are you okay?
I'm sure he's going through it right now.
Brandon Ayuk is available too. Are you okay? Just want to make sure you're okay, man. We care here.
Ricky Pearsall's season coming inbound. Y'all heard it here.
Oh man, it's so bad. I know. These are the things that happen in the seasons. I mean, guys, you have to get rid of all your good players. So which one of y'all's teams once created player DK Donkey Kong Metcalf? I think everyone wants him.
Yeah, heck, they won't. But hey, put him on the Eagles. Put him like. Can you imagine DK like in the slot and
just play tight end
dude in the slot like that? Like poor nickel corners won't be able to cover that. No way. But they won't.
There's too many balls, and then AJ Brown.
No, I know. It's way too much.
So I like to be in the room
with John Lynch and Kyle to discuss the direction of the team. Hey, you got
What
to
are we
create
doing,
money
guys?
because you got to pay Purdy. So
Why? That's my problem. Why? Can anyone answer me that? Why are you trying to play Brock Purdy?
why not? I don't know.
Because
Trevor Lawrence can get $50 million.
He's supposed to be their QB. He's done.
I think we can all agree that Kyle Purdy, Brock Purdy's played a lot better than Trevor Lawrence has.
And I think
but he's also had
agree.
all the talent. He had the greatest talent.
Yeah.
Okay, well then so did
how
Trey
much better
Lance.
Mr. Irrelevant is from the same draft or the draft after?
Yeah. No, again, it comes back to Brock Purdy is more of that guy. Again, he won't run the ball a lot, but he's more of that guy who's more of that pocket passer, gets the job done, and that's all that they need him for. And yes, we will see what he's like.
Did need him for. Now you have no one there, so it's going to happen.
Hey, Ricky Pearsall, watch him explode.
He's going to explode for 3. I mean, the one wide receiver that intrigues me, I don't know if y'all have done scouting report on this guy, Nick Nash, wide receiver from my hometown, San Jose State. He's basically a triple crown season. If y'all see the stats.
You know what? I would love to actually see that because that's a name I've not heard quite yet.
Nick Nash is not a top tier wide receiver. So, I mean, if that's what you want, you can definitely get him. You guys love to collect 3rd round picks, and I think that's where you're going to look at him. So, I mean, I'm not against him, not at all. But as of right now, I have Nick Nash maybe like 15 overall. He's a 6'2" guy, 203, 4'5", 40, almost 4'6", 40. I have him a little bit in front of Pat Bryant and Jalen Noel. And Tez Johnson, I have him in front of Tez Johnson too. So he's right there, but he's 15. So I'm thinking, if you want him, you can have him. He's intriguing.
Sure.
He's 3rd or 4th rounder.
Could be a steal.
Maybe.
So, maybe.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell with literally every one of these guys.
Look at Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. See how he turned into.
But once again, they had so much talent around them. They had the best left tackle. You had CMC that was the best running back. You had all this wide receiver help. You had the best tight end all there. So doesn't that kind of give you a reason why he was good? He's a good point guard. Should you pay him like a point guard and not necessarily like a star guard?
So you are right. He has the talent and all that. But we can say the same thing with someone like, again, not the same player, but they're both young guys. We have to think about where Brock went and when he started, okay? So this is why I'm drawing the comparison. We can look at teams that had great weapons around them, like Caleb Williams had great weapons around him. He did not have the all-star season like a lot of people were thinking that he might out of all the quarterbacks. I get it. But at the same time, also, if all this talent really does matter, then why didn't Trey Lance have a good time there? Why did every other 49ers quarterback before him?
Trey Lance, we now know is a 3rd round pick somewhere. A third, he's
right,
not anything special. So we now know that.
They traded up to get Trey Lance, is what I'm saying. He was a first rounder.
It's just that that was a mistake. But Brock Purdy, I just don't feel like he's an elite quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. And if you want to tell me that you're going to pay Brock Purdy $30 million, that's fine. When you tell me you're going to pay him $50 million, I tell you you're stupid.
Well, let the 49ers be stupid then. I'm sure a bunch of Seahawks fans will be very happy.
You're paying 45.
Exactly, yes.
You're closer to stupid than the smart. I put Nash as a kind of late round Edelman on Nakua, Victor Cruz guy who had godly numbers in college, but for a small perimeter. Plus, he's basically in their backyard to scout and watch film on. And but understand, Nash is ranked, known for most people. He is like a 3rd or 4th round pick guy. So he's not a really late round. He's a mid draft type of guy. He's probably, if I was ranking people, probably like top 150 the top 150 people in the draft. He's probably right around there. So I mean, you're right, Kadani. I think he's a good player, and I think you could get him for a beginning of the 4th, late 3rd round pick. So I mean, yeah, I think you're scouting him the correct way. But there's a lot of guys that are like that, and Kyle Shanahan is a genius, so I think that kind of could work. So
maybe. You guys got anybody else you guys want to talk about? Any other players, free agency, combine? Anybody you're hoping gets dropped so your team can snag them?
I just want to wait because the legal tampering period starts in 5 days, guys. 5 days at noon. We could start seeing some of these contracts kind of form. You can start seeing what the teams are going to be like, and now we can start breaking down the draft because we know what the teams are. So I'm excited by that. I'm happy with what my Bears have done, getting us the guards. Redoing that. I think we need a center, so I'm happy about going to free agency. Only need one guy to replace. I think it also says a lot about this free agent class as far as guards go. They're old. They're not that good. So you had to trade for them. So that's how I see with them. I see a lot of teams are going to try to make moves. I think I will expect DK to be moved in the next 3 days.
That'd be pretty ideal.
I still say Amari Cooper probably does go to Washington. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm just saying that these moves are going to happen leading up to the league year. I think it's going to make a lot of sense for a lot of teams, and I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Okay. No. I guess I'll play the waiting game too. I want to see what my team does, what they're going to do for agency, see if there's any big splashes that they want to do, or is it going to come literally from trades? Have to see.
So they haven't had much success in drafting wide receivers other than Debo and Ayuk. Ricky is still new, but I think Ricky's good. I think Pearsall's good. But Dante Pettis.
I think Ricky came on towards the end of the season.
Yes.
And that's why you could go ahead and release one of these guys.
Expect him by the halfway point of this next season to really start shining, especially if the other guys are gone. He will come into his own really quickly.
I just don't know what that means winning.
Dante Pettis. I like Pettis as far as a returner. But that's about it. He's not really anything special outside of that.
When is the deadline to sign
the tag? Isn't that like June?
July,
July,
first week of July.
I was gonna say June or July.
So, but you have
Oh, shut up, Eagles.
Oh, cry, Anthony, cry. 55-23. Do I need to remind you? Oh, no, wait. I probably shouldn't.
That season is about to be over, and the new season is about to start.
Guess what? Until then,
so be careful, guys.
Until then, I'm going to run my mouth, and then when this team actually can beat me, then we'll talk with her.
Let him have his last 8 days, guys, because when
we come
in next week, we will be talking about free agency starting the next day. This is going to happen. No matter what we say, it's going to happen. But with that being said, guys, we're going to get out of here because I think like we've been here over an hour and a half, and it's time for us all to get to bed. And I have to go watch my TV shows because I do everything. So with that being said, I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Mark and Alec. We will see you guys very soon. We got Kadani saying my guess it will bring a veteran guy, potentially Devontae Adams, because he's from Oakland. Maybe there's a chance he goes back home. I don't know who else will be a good fit. What y'all think? I think that you're exactly right. Devontae Adams could go there, and it might make a lot of sense. But I hope they hold on to Brandon Ayuk.
Good.
All right. Later, guys. See ya.
Later.
Go Birds, defending champ. Woo!
8 more days of this, guys.
Who lets this guy go? Who lets this guy on?
Y'all love.
Getting hyped when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. When I watch me elevate.